What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today is March 17th already. That's right, which means it is St. Patrick's Day, and I could not think of a better way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day than with the new Nomad Cosmetics Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette. That's right, this is the newest palette from Nomad. I'm excited because not only is it Ireland themed, not only is it green, but it came out in March. So this is beautiful. This is the packaging right here. We will get into the details in a minute. We're going to create two looks with this palette as well. So if you want to see all the details, the swatches, and two looks, then stick around. Y'all, here is the palette. It looks absolutely beautiful. I love this packaging. This is like a felt like you would find on a pool table, and if you look at the packaging, it has like 4-leaf clovers in the background, and when we open her up, it is a green palette. I absolutely love it. We have our greens, we have our pops of blue, gold, and a little bit of like a warm tone brown in here. Absolutely beautiful. I think this captures Ireland perfect. I've never been, but it's always been a dream of mine. So one day I will make it there, but for now I have this palette to satisfy that. So each palette comes with a little postcard right here. This postcard tells you about the palette, about the location, and the cause as well. So I am going to pop some swatches up on the screen, and I'm going to read to you what this little card says. So, New Ireland Wild Atlantic Way Intense Color Palette. Welcome to a meandering coastal journey full of towering cliffs, verdant hills, and tempestuous seas as we adventure along Ireland's Wild Atlantic Way. Stretching from the wind-whipped north to the balmy beach of the south, this route has sweeping views of untamed lands and unspoiled beaches dotted throughout with charming, colorful villages. Escape, explore, and enjoy the spectacular destination Oscar Wilde described as, quote, a savage beauty. The Verdant Wild Beauty palette is a spectrum of Irish greens from soft moss and lush bogs to emerald gems and rich glens, sprinkled with sea blues and neutral touches of limestone, peat, and gold flowering plants. 11 grand mattes and 7 splendid shimmers, inspired by the untamed and dramatic beauty of Ireland's west coast. The cause. We are proud to support Irish Wildlife Trust that works to raise awareness of Ireland's rich natural heritage and protect it for future generations. So I love this. I love the cause. I love the palettes. I love the colors. Nomad is a fantastic brand. I really do enjoy them. They are one of my favorite indie brands. I just love supporting a brand that supports a cause, and that makes me happy. But we are going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. I'm going to prime my eyes, and we're going to create two different looks with the Ireland palette. Alright, so my eyes are primed. We are ready to go. I did go in with my Sigma eyeshadow base in Ignite, and we're going to create our first look. So obviously we have to create a green. Like, there's so many beautiful greens in here. How can we not? So I think what I want to do is I want to start with this shade right here, which is called the Wild Rover. So I am going to start out with a blinged brush E21, and we're just going to fluff this into the crease. There's not a lot of kick up in the pan, and we like that. It doesn't really bother me, but I always like to point that out. So if you're curious and that is something that bothers you, you know. There's a little bit, but not a lot. This is a beautiful shade. It's going on really nicely. Nomad has gotten better with every release. I will give them that. Just their mattes get creamier, they get softer, they blend better, their shimmers get better in every palette. I have not swatched this yet, so the swatches that you saw, obviously I popped in, but I haven't swatched it. So I'm excited to see how the shimmers perform, because those can be very hit or miss. But this green is stunning. That is like an Ireland green, and I love it. Okay, so I think I want to pick up this shade right here. I believe that's called Tient. I am not sure how to pronounce that. I have no idea. If you know the proper pronunciation and you can somehow put it down below, let me know. But we're gonna go with that. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna pick up a Sigma E25 brush in that shade, and I'm just gonna pack this into my outer corner. I am getting a little more kick up in the pan with this shade, but as long as I don't have any fallout, I don't really care. That's pretty. I am getting a little bit of fallout right here. I have powdered, so it should sweep away. But if that bothers you, just do your eyes first, or make sure that you powder really good under your eyes. For my lower lash line, I think I want to go in with this shade right here. With this shade right here called Emerald Isle. And we're just going to kind of fluff that under my lower lash line. Give a little bit of depth down there. I want to try and use as many of the shades as I can in this palette for these two looks. I will also do some looks in a short over here. But this is a Sigma E42 brush, and I'm just going to fluff that under here. Oh, that is gorgeous. That's like the perfect emerald green. Yeah, stunning. All right, let's pop some shimmers on this lid. So I want to play with these two shimmers right here. I think we're going to go in with this one first, which is called Diaduit. I don't know. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering all this. I'm sure I am. And then we're going to go in with this shimmer shade here as well called Slaint. Ooh, y'all, I should have brushed up on my Irish, oh my gosh, I should have brushed up on my words from Ireland before I did this, and I didn't. But we're gonna start with this one, and then we're gonna go in with this one just right where those shades meet. And then I think for the inner corner I might use this shade. I don't know. Let's start with those two shimmers. I'm going to put on a little bit of my NYX glitter glue just so I don't have any fallout, and it makes the shimmers pop just a little bit. And then we will pop on these two shimmers. Okay, so I am starting with the lighter of the two shimmer shades of the greens. That's really pretty, very reflective, very smooth. This is not hard in the pan, so I like that. I'm not having any issues picking it up. Definitely so far, just with this one shade, this is the good shimmer formula from Nomad. And then I want to go in with the darker shimmer shade, pick that up on my finger, and we're just gonna put that right here. Yeah, that's beautiful. Same goes for this shade as well. I didn't have any issues picking it up. It wasn't hard pressed, anything like that. Okay, for the inner corner, we're gonna go in with this shade right here. We're gonna do a matte inner corner. So this is called Malin Head, and I'm just going to pick this up with, what brush do I wanna use? We're gonna use this one. This is a Morphe M506, and I'm just gonna pick that up, and we're gonna tap this into my inner corner. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. That's like almost like a neon green. It looks a little yellow in the pan. Like it didn't really look, about this shade right here, it doesn't really look very green. It looks more yellow, and I'm seeing the same color in person that you're seeing on camera, but whenever I pop it in here, it's just the prettiest like lime green, and I love that. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this eye look, and then I will come back, show you the completed look, and we'll start look number 2. Okay, so this completes the first look with the Ireland palette. This is beautiful. This is just a monochromatic green look, and I do love it. I'm here for it. Perfect for the occasion. I'm feeling very festive. Let me show you what I used. So I went in with my Glam Light Calligrapher liner for my lid, and then I went in with my e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara. For my waterline, I went in with a House Labs eyeliner, and this is in the shade Chartreuse Matte, just in my waterline to give a little bit of a pop. And I think it came together beautifully. I will say the fallout that I had did not wipe away very easily, so I would suggest either going in and doing your eyes first before you do your base makeup, or make sure that you heavily powder your under eyes. That way you can wipe it away a lot easier. But we are going to go ahead and pop over and do look number 2. I'm going to powder my under eye a little bit more just so I don't have that fallout, and then we'll jump into it. Okay, we are heavily powdered under here. My eye is primed. Let's go ahead and do this. I want to play with this blue, and I also want to play with this shade as well. The golds. I think for this one, I'm going to go ahead and start with this shade right here. This is called Burn Ratty Castle. Again, y'all, I'm really sorry if I'm butchering these names. I do apologize. But I am going to go in with a Singe EO2 brush and that beautiful like sienna brown shade. And we're going to pop this into the crease of my eye. That shade blended out beautifully. I didn't have any issues, no patching, no skipping. It just fluffed on so nicely. But I want to take this shade, where are we? This shade right here, which is called Connemara. Oof. And I just want to, with the same brush, pick up a little bit of that, and I just want to go right along that edge, diffusing that color and softening that line just a little bit. That looks really pretty. Okay, so for the lower lash line, we're gonna go in with the blue. So we're gonna take this shade right here, which is called Keem Strand, and we're gonna take a Game Beauty EO4 brush. Gosh, I can't read anything. And we're just going to fluff this along the lower lash line. Nothing crazy. I think I want to take that same shade to the outer corner of my lid as well. Yeah. Okay, so I did have just a little bit of trouble building that blue shade over this the first shade that we used right here. So I would say definitely I probably should have gone in with the blue and then kind of fluffed in the other shade, but it worked. It just took a little bit of work. Not a big deal. Sometimes shades stack on each other nicely, sometimes they don't. But let's continue on. I'm just perfecting this line right here. My eye is watering, so fun times. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I have extremely watery eyes. Our pollen count has been really high. My eyes are swollen. They are all of the things today, but we power through, we move on. It's what we do. So let's go ahead, and I want to fluff something else under this lower lash line. I think we're going to go in with this shade right here called Danny Boy, and I am just going to pick up this brush from Unearthly, not that one, this one. This is an Unearthly UC 8-7, and I'm just going to fluff that Danny Boy shade right here under that blue and hope that this does not do anything weird because my eye is very watery. We're gonna pop over to shimmer. So for my lid, I think what I really want to do, I want to play with this gold so bad. This gold up here, this is called Slan, I don't know. But we're gonna play with this shade here, and then we're gonna put this one down here called Cove Harbor, right where those shades meet. And then I don't know yet. We'll figure out the inner corner after we do that. So let's go ahead and pop some NYX glitter primer on my lid per usual, and then we'll go in with some shimmer. Okay, so I picked up that shimmer on my finger, and we're gonna pop this on my lid. That's beautiful. It has kind of like a green undertone to it, but it still looks beautiful with this. Very shiny, very reflective. Again, it's picking up beautifully. I'm not having any issues with it like being hard panned or stiff or anything like that. It's not accentuating the texture on my lids. That's a beautiful shade. But we're gonna go in with Cove Harbor, and I'm just gonna put this right where that shimmer and that matte meet. So we have a very cohesive look. It's blended. That's the best advice I can give you, is if you were doing like a high contrast outer corner and a shimmer on your lid, go in with a darker shimmer that's very similar to that matte if you have one, and just press it right along where those shades meet, and the reflection of the light from the shimmer just gives this perfect cohesive like blend on the lid without having a harsh line. Yeah, that looks beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and do the inner corner. So I think for the inner corner, we're gonna go in with this shade right here. This is called Savage Beauty. So I'm going to pick up, where's my brush that I want to use for this? Here it is. I'm gonna go in with a Unearthly UC8-5. I'm gonna pick up that shade and I'm gonna spray it with some MAC Fix Plus, and we're gonna pop this into my inner corner as everything falls over. Okay. Ooh, wow. That looks really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this eye, and then I will show you the completed look number 2. Okay, so this completes the second look with this palette. This is beautiful. I love it. I love that once again we have 2 different looks with the same palette. We have blue, we have green. I really enjoy this. I was able to kind of go in and fix this corner over here. Let me show you what else I used to finish off this look. So in my waterline, I went in with a Give liner and bath water, and then I just threw on some e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara. I didn't do any liquid liner because I didn't want to mess with a good thing. I didn't want to tempt it to fall apart on me. And then for my lips, I threw on an Oden's Eye X Tina the Fancy Face Lip Gloss in Brilliance. I just thought that this went really beautifully with the look. And then I threw on a little bit of a highlighter. I went in with Rare Beauty and Lighten. So that completes both of these looks. What do we think? I think this palette is beautiful. I will say once again, I did get a lot of fallout when playing with the darker shades, but I noticed that this eye, even though it watered and we had some issues, throwing on that extra powder really helped a lot when I went to brush it off. So keep that in mind. But I will say, I enjoy this. But let's go ahead and zoom you out a little bit, and we're going to discuss this palette. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this palette right here. I think it's beautiful. I like the packaging. I like the felt pool table-esque on here. I like the gold. I like that we have these little clovers in the background, and the color story is beautiful. The greens in here are stunning. I love that we have the pops of blue, the gold, this burnt sienna, orange, brown shade down here is beautiful. I didn't have any issues with the shades performing. The shimmers are all nice and soft. They're not hard pressed, at least in my palette. They're not. I didn't have any issues picking up with my finger. And even when I went in to use this one on my inner corner, I picked it up with a brush. Didn't have any issues there either. Again, as I've already stated, I did experience a lot of fallout with this palette, but like I said, just make sure that you really powder your under eyes or do your eyes first. I'm not usually a big fan of doing my eyes first, but I think I want to start trying to do that instead of being so worried about fallout. But it's beautiful. I like the theming. I like the destination, obviously. Is it my favorite palette from the brand? I don't think it is, but it's definitely up there because the quality is so good. And I do have some other palettes. If you watched my eyeshadow collection video, I do have some other Nomad palettes that the quality isn't just quite up there. The color story doesn't speak to me as much, but this one is beautiful. I do like it. If you're looking for a green palette that is pretty much monochromatic with just a couple pops in here, this is beautiful. I don't think you'd be disappointed. I don't think I stated before, but this palette does retail for $49. It is currently available on their website and it is not limited edition. So it will stick around for at least 12 months. Usually after that, I think they kind of discontinue some of the palettes that aren't selling as well and things like that. But this is gorgeous. I'm happy to have it. I can't wait to continue playing with it. I will do a short with this palette, maybe two, we'll see. It depends on how much time I have, but it's beautiful. I really enjoy it. Again, everything that's on my face will be linked and listed down below in that description box. I will put as much information down there as I possibly can. I usually do. I like making sure that you have all the details and that you don't have any questions. But that is it. Let me know which look you liked. Did you pick up this palette? Are you going to pick up this palette? Is it on your wish list? Have you tried Nomad before? Let's have that conversation. Let's talk about it. But that is all I have for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for being here today, for watching my video and spending your time with me. It means so much to me. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every week, most days, if not every single day, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.